Well, guys, I'm going to tell an old war story, if you will, and it's kind of an interesting one. So, in my middle school, like a lot of other schools, at one point they had home economics class where you would learn to cook and clean and do taxes, and a class that they really should bring back, but I digress. Anyways, when they stopped doing home ec, they left the room mostly intact, and by that I mean all of the appliances were still in there. You can see where I'm getting this. The classroom then became one of the 8th grade English teacher's rooms. She was also a Spanish teacher, and so it wasn't really used for home ec. Now, I talked to this person. She said she loved the room. She loved how big it was, because as you can imagine, it was a big, long room. It might have been the biggest classroom in the school. Although the wood shop used to be a class there too, and that room became actually my history teacher's classroom, because it's one of the biggest classrooms in terms of most floor space, and he does a thing with interns and stuff, and so half the week there's an extra 10 people there, so it helps to have the big room. Well, anyways, I talked to this person who was in the old home ec room, and I asked, do these appliances work? And she said, yeah. And so I started to poke around, and I'll see if I can describe it. So here's the room, door. So there were these 4 islands, if you will, sort of in like this, sort of in that shape. Each one of them had a sink in it, and then each one of them had a stovetop. They were Maytag they were Maytag electric smooth top cooktops. Each of the islands had one. I'll see if I have a picture of them. If I can, it'll be right here. And they were interesting. I'd never seen them run. I'd assume they work. There were 4 at one point, but the one... So if you're looking at the room, looking down on the room, the island that was in the bottom right, the stovetop that was in the bottom right, if you're looking at the room from front to back, her husband broke it, and so there was just a piece of wood there to cover the hole. Now, I find it interesting that they went with electric. It's cheaper. Well, it's not cheaper, but it's cheaper to buy in the beginning, because it's not like they couldn't have gas. They had gas lines in all of the science rooms for Bunsen burners and crap. So I looked at those. She also had some dishwashers and some ovens. There was also, from what I heard, a bathroom and a small bedroom in there, so you could teach how to clean a bathroom and how to make a bed. 2 dishwashers. The 2 diagonal islands had it. So you had the left bottom island had one facing the front of the room, and then the right rear island had one facing the back of the room where the wall ovens and the bathroom were. The islands were much closer to the back of the room. And the 2 dishwashers were interesting. They were not the same. The one that faced the front of the room was a black caloric with blue shelves, and it had the control knob missing. I'll see if I have a picture of it here. I looked inside of it once, and it was disgusting inside. It was all dusty. I'd assumed it hadn't been used in 10 years. She told me it was broken, but it was missing the control knob, so maybe that was it. The other dishwasher, the one in the rear island that faced the ovens, was a GE Nautilus dishwasher. Now, my grandma has a Nautilus in her condo. They're pretty basic, black dishwasher again. See if I have a picture here. This one she said she used, but it did not get hot water anymore. And it was essentially the exact same as my grandma's, except my grandma's had 2 sets of push buttons. That one had 3. And then we moved to the wall ovens. This dishwasher was obviously cleaner inside because she used it. So we moved to the wall ovens. These were my favorite appliances. 4 apartment-sized GE wall ovens from like the 70s. I loved them. They had the manual clocks, and they had the manual timers. They were all knobs that you twisted. I loved them. I'll see if I have pictures of them here. Anyway, they were pretty dirty on the inside. someone said that there was mice in them at some point, but she said they did work, or at least some of them worked. I don't know if they all worked. But they were probably the oldest appliances in the room. So yeah, we got an odd combo. We got GE ovens, which I assume were electric, just because the stoves are electric. GE wall ovens, Maytag cooktops, a caloric. I would assume both of the dishwashers were the same, the caloric at some point, which I don't remember where I read it, but I feel like somewhere I read that caloric was made by Maytag, at least for the dishwashers. We had a Maytag dishwasher from the 90s, and it was great. So if it was made by Maytag, I'm sure it did a good job. And then it broke, so they replaced it with a GE basic one, the Nautilus. Don't know why the cooktops were Maytag. Maybe they got a deal on them. I don't know. They did buy 4. And unfortunately, my school was doing some renovations this year, and one of them was going to be to that room, and they were going to tear out the islands and make it like a science room. One of the 7th grade science teachers was going to move in there. So I don't know, but I sit up late at night sometimes and I think, what happened to those appliances that were in there? Because our class was the last one to have that room as an English and Spanish room. We were the last class that had that as a non-science room. So this summer is when they're doing the renovation. So I was actually the last class that got to see it. So if we have pictures, like I said, I'll be inserting them there. I think I made a video of them at some point too. If there is, I will insert it at the end of the video. But yeah, I just wanted to make this sort of tribute video to those old appliances. I hope that they didn't go to the dump. I have a feeling they might have. I don't really want to check thrift stores or Habitats or anything just because of COVID. I might bite the bullet and do it, though, just in case they were donated. I would have to assume, unfortunately, the caloric dishwasher probably went to the dump because it was dusty inside and it had the missing knob. That would have been the coolest one, though, because it was all... I'm sure someone looking at it, ew, it's nasty, and so they threw it out. It had a dent in the front panel, though, kind of like our dishwasher has, and it was kind of scratched on the front because, you know, she had tables and chairs would slide into it and stuff. But yeah, I'd love to know what happened to those. Haven't contacted anybody, but I'm hoping if COVID is over in the near future, I can go back and take a look and see what the room looks like now. Maybe I'll take a picture, I don't know. But we will see. So that is my video about our old home ec appliances. Thank you for watching. Feel free to subscribe and click like if you like what you see. And follow me on the web, wix.com/theelevatorworld/fans. Bye.